Hello everyone, my name is Hazel Evaluate, and today I will be discussing about my communication theory presentation. The presentation presents a summary of the Imogen King's theory of goal attainment, including assumptions and concepts. In the presentation, the way the theoretical framework can be applied to address the issue of sleep deprivation in a healthcare setting is also described. King's theory describes the nursing as involving assessment, nursing diagnosis, planning, implementation, and evaluation actions. The Imogen King's theory of goal attainment was put forward by Imogen King, a nursing scholar born in 1923. The theory has several basic assumptions, including that the focus of nursing is the care of human beings and the goal of nursing is the healthcare of persons and groups. King also postulated that people are open systems interrelating continually with their environment. The fundamental assumption of this theory is that the nurses and clients transfer information, establish goals jointly, and then function to realize those goals. Other assumptions are that every human being sees the world as a complete person in making connections with persons and things in the environment. Lastly, the transaction exemplifies a life situation in which the perceiver and the entity perceived are met and in which an individual enters a situation as a functional participant and each is transformed in the course of these experiences. In coming up with a theory, King proposed the following. First, if perceptual interaction accuracy exists in nurse-client relations, a transaction will ensue. Second, if a nurse and a client make a transaction, the goal will be reached. Third, if the goal is reached, satisfaction will follow. Fourth, growth and development will be improved during nurse-client interaction transactions. 5. If nurses and clients perceive and perform and expect their role as congruent, the transaction will occur. 6. If role conflict arises between a nurse and a client or both, stress will occur during nurse-client interaction. And lastly, reciprocal goal setting and attainment will arise if a specialist or specialized nurse communicate the right information to the clients. King's theory describes the nursing as involving several key actions including assessment, nursing diagnosis, planning, implementation, and evaluation. Application of the nursing theory. The theory is considered a middle-range nursing theory because it is applicable in direct nursing care whereby the nurse and the patient can jointly set goals. In applying King's theory in addressing a sleeping problem, the first action during the nursing process would be to do an assessment of the patient. The first action during assessment would entail meeting, communicating, and interacting with the patient, after which an assessment is done by gathering data and information about the patient based on applicable concepts. According to King's theory, interaction occurs during the assessment period whereby the patient brings knowledge about self and view of the health issue or problem, while the nurse brings unique skills and understanding. Therefore, during the assessment, the nurse would collect information about the patient's current sleep status, medication being taken, and the duration of sleep problem, among others. The nurse then uses patient's perception as the basis for data collection and interpretation. In this case, the nurse may discern that the patient has sleep maintenance or quality-related problem. The nurse could also decide to collect other information to assist the patient to achieve good health. As such, the nurse could collect the patient history including demographic information, current history of sleep deprivation, past history of sleep deprivation, family history, lifestyle, as well as information on the socioeconomic status of the patient. Using such information, the nurse can discern its meaning in relation to sleep deprivation. For instance, the nurse can discern the patient's lifestyle is the cause of or age is a risk factor for sleep deprivation. The nurse can use the information collected during the assessment to make nursing decisions. For instance, sleep deprivation could suggest insomnia and other sleep-related conditions or illnesses. After making a nursing decision, the nurse plans for intervention to manage sleep deprivation problems. During goal attainment, setting goals, making choices, and agreeing on the means to realize these goals represents planning. Regarding the diagnosis, some of the nurse's goals would entail acquiring knowledge about preventive measures and treatment and attending to the problem immediately. The patient goals would include acquiring knowledge about sleep deprivation, freedom from lack of sleep, improved quality of sleep and quality of life, and increased sleep duration. Both the nurse and the patient should ensure the goals are congruent. Equally, in setting the goals, both should set priority goals. In this case, improve quality of sleep and quality of life. The patient should highlight some of the best ways he or she perceives to accomplish the goals. This could include a thorough acquisition of knowledge, working with a nurse, and disclosing all the necessary information about the health problem. The implementation would entail following through the agreed course of action to realize the set goals. An evaluation will involve finding out if the set goals were achieved or not, as the King's depiction of evaluation speaks about goal attainment and effectiveness of nursing care. Thank you for your time.